What's up, guys? I'm Joe. Today I'm talking about my most anticipated albums of 2018. So 2018 is upon us already. And it looks like there's a lot of stuff coming out this year. Pretty excited for a lot of the albums that have been either rumored, speculated, or actually have release dates at this point. This is kind of just a preliminary type list. I mean, I'm sure as the year goes on, like plenty of other things are going to be announced or rumored that aren't in the works now. But these are my most anticipated albums based on the information going around now, and we'll just dive right into it. So no anticipated albums list is complete, of course, without Tool. And I'm sure plenty of other fans have been anticipating this release since 10,000 Days. Their last record came out, about 100 years ago or something like that. And it seems like the rumors are a little bit more on the confirmed side this year. Danny Carey says the music side is fairly complete. I know Maynard came out and said vocals haven't been touched yet, so we'll see. I don't know. Having mentioned Tool, The Perfect Circle's coming out with an album this year. Another band that Maynard James Keenan sings for. They've had a couple singles, so it seems like this one's definitely more likely to come out this year. I don't know if there's a release date. It makes me wonder if Tool and A Perfect Circle would really come out with these anticipated releases in the same year. It makes me kind of think Tool might come out in 2019. I'm not really sure. But we'll see. I'd be excited for them both to come out. Up next, Judas Priest, one of my all-time favorite bands, really got me into metal. I fairly enjoyed the last album, Redeemer of Souls. It was the first one that had the newer guitarist Richie Faulkner on guitar. He seems to add, quite a bit of energy back into the band. And Redeemer was pretty good, though I am not a fan of the production on that album. And I'm happy to say that Lightning Strike, the single that came out for the new Priest album, Firepower, sounds way better, a lot more crisp, a lot heavier sounding. The drums sound way better, have a lot more power. So I'm pretty excited for that. And, Halford sounds great on that song. They stick to a fairly certain formula at this point, but I mean, that's fine. I'm getting a Painkiller era type vibe to this song, which they've mostly stuck with. It has like a Hell Patrol kind of feel to it. But Halford's vocals are kind of reminiscent of some of the 80s stuff, maybe Defenders of the Faith, with the way some of the melodies play out on here, so I'm pretty excited. Up next, Arctic Monkeys are coming out with an album, which is awesome. I got into them when they first came out, and then I didn't really follow along with the band until AM was like a really big deal. So I was able to kind of really go back and rediscover them. Since then I've just loved the band. I consider them one of my favorites. And it's been a while at this point. AM was, 2013. Alex Turner has come out with some stuff in between then. He did another Last Shadow Puppets album, Miles Kane, an album that I did really enjoy, but I'm definitely looking forward to the Arctic Monkeys. Next we have Ghost with their follow-up to Meliora, however you say it. An album I'm definitely looking forward to. I think Ghost have come out with 3 fantastic albums. Meliora probably being my favorite of the 3. It just has this big, grand 80s anthem-y rock kind of feel to it, which is pretty cool. I have heard that the new album is going to be a lot more darker, a lot heavier, so that would definitely be exciting to see. Up next, Miles Kennedy is coming out with a solo album. He sings in the band Alter Bridge. He was singing with Slash for a few albums that were pretty solid. And that single, Year of the Tiger, that came out, I think it's great. It has this folky Led Zeppelin kind of feel to it. The vocal performance from Miles is amazing as always. I'm excited to hear this sort of acoustic, folky, laid-back kind of album from him. I think it could be pretty great, and like I said, I'm a big fan of that first single. And speaking of Miles Kennedy, Mark Tremonti's coming out with another album with his band Tremonti. I've been a huge fan of the Tremonti stuff, actually. The last 2 records in particular, Cauterize and Dust, which sort of came out back-to-back, were just super underrated, just so good. Hard rock, metal-y kind of feel to it. Some great breakdowns and stuff here and there. He definitely, pushes the envelope, goes a little bit heavier than he usually does in Alter Bridge. And Mark Tremonti, he's really come into his own as a vocalist, and as always, the guitar work is just insane. Super underrated musician, Tremonti, a fantastic band. I'm very excited for a new Clutch album. I got Earth Rocker on vinyl sitting back there. Their last couple of records have been fantastic. Earth Rocker being a huge deal in the rock community when that one came out, and Psychic Warfare being a great follow-up, which is very bluesy, very southern-oriented, a lot of great groove on both of those albums. If you're looking for a great song, Psychic Warfare, the closer, Son of Virginia, is just, one of my favorites in the last couple of years, honestly. It's such a great song. And Clutch is a solid band. They don't really come out with bad stuff, so I'm sure it'll be a great, fun rock album. Alice in Chains, I think, are coming out with something. I think, William Duvall has been doing a pretty good job in the band. The last 2 records were pretty good. And I really liked his side project, Giraffe Tongue Orchestra, featured Brent Hines from Mastodon. That was a really good album, and I think it allowed William to kind of come into his own more as a vocalist. He does a great job on the Alice in Chains albums, but he's certainly trying to stay in like a certain style to fit with the earlier stuff. But he kind of explored a little bit on that side project, so I'm interested to see where they go from there. This Black Panther soundtrack album thing that Kendrick Lamar is very much in control of. Looks like he's gonna have some songs, be heavily featured on a lot of it. It's looking like it's gonna be a pretty fun, great album. It's cool to see these artists are going to come together behind the movie Black Panther, which Marvel movies have been pretty great. I think Black Panther's going to be a pretty fun one. It's looking like that's going to be a pretty big soundtrack this year. I think that's going to be pretty great. Up next, Weezer. They might be coming out with that Black album this year, which originally they were going to follow the White Album with the Black album. Pacific Daydream ended up coming out. Pacific Daydream, not a terrible album. I thought it was a bit of a disappointment after the last few. But certainly, I didn't think it was bad. But I am excited to see what the Black Album really will entail, especially if it was going to either follow up or counter the White Album. So we'll see. I'm pretty excited for the Jack White album. I think those couple singles were pretty good. I've seen some backlash over them. People don't seem to like them too much. I thought they were fine. There's definitely an electronic kind of vibe in the Connected by Love song, but I like that it doesn't totally overtake the song. It gets very bluesy and loud as it goes on to kind of counterbalance the electronic stuff. So, if this is his, phase where he's going to go electronic, hopefully he doesn't totally take over the whole album. Brian Fallon has another album coming out pretty soon, singer of Gaslight Anthem. He had a solo album previously to this, which I thought was pretty great. I like him and I like the Gaslight Anthem because they really encapsulate that kind of New Jersey sound, very similar to, Bruce Springsteen. It usually makes for just a great kind of rock and roll vibe. Hailstorm's supposed to have an album come out. Lizzie Hale, phenomenal singer. I like their first two records quite a lot. Into the Wildlife, I liked a couple songs. I just thought it was a huge come down from those first two. So I'm hoping to see a lot more of that original energy come back. And finally, I think Megadeth's supposed to come out with something. I think they're getting to the studio pretty soon. Their last album, Dystopia, was pretty great. Very heavy, great riffs, great shredding. And I'm definitely interested to see, how they're going to follow it up. Hopefully they just keep up that aggression. They had a pretty good string of albums. Super Collider kind of messed that up. But Dystopia was definitely a welcome return to the Megadeth sound. So yeah, that's some of my most anticipated albums of the year. We'll see how these turn out. I'm certainly going to be reviewing them. There's lots of reviews, in the works, on the way. Really going to kick it into gear and get back into the swing of things for 2018. So thanks for watching. As always, don't forget to subscribe, check out some reviews, some other videos, and let me know in the comments what you're looking forward to this year. So thanks again, guys, and I'll see you all next time.